So we are going to do Birdie's prong introduction. I'm going to fit a prong collar on her for the first time. Yes, ma'am. I know, what is this thing? Is it pretty crazy? Here's her feeling it for the first time. I'm going to let her kind of wander ahead, engage subtle leash pressure, and then turn it off when she yields to it. So pressure on, pressure off. Good. Good girl. Hi. Hi, honey. Pressure on, off. She paid attention more to my body that time. So on. She just kind of sits down, off. Good girl. So, it looks like she feels it. She decides to sit. Good. But I want to keep her moving. I don't want it to fully stop her. I want her to yield to the directional guidance that I'm giving her with the prong, which is finger light. It's so good. Good girl. So that she can start to understand that I'm telling her where to go with the leash. Good. Because she's very used to pulling against or into a leash. Nice job. And we need to teach her to yield to the direction that I'm giving her. Nice job. So she gets out in front of me. I try to line myself up kind of to the side of her so she can turn back toward me. Good girl. So pressure on. She sits down. I keep the pressure on. Keep the pressure on. She's doing some displacement. Good girl. She's like eating grass and sniffing and trying to do other stuff to make it go away. Good girl. Good girl. Nice job. On, off. Good. That was a great rep. On, off. Good. Good girl. Good girl. Lots of eye contact. On, off. Good girl. Which I love to see. That's very good. On, off. Good girl. There we go. We figuring it out. Hello. And this whole process helps to make me so much more relevant to her, because she cares about the sensation of the prong collar far more than she cares about the sensation of her flat collar. Good. Pressure on, off. On, off. Good. Now we're going to start to try to move into little leash pops. So now that she understands what this is and more or less what it means, I'm going to do an exercise that's called Center of the Universe, where I give her a little pop to come back to me. So we'll kind of line her up. See? And pop, pop. Good girl. And my pops are short, quick. Good. Little pop like that. Good girl. Almost like a little boxer's jab to get her attention, to get her to come back to me. Pop. Good girl. Nice job. And this is the beginning of me teaching a let's go cue, essentially, which will mean I need you to disengage from your environment and re-engage with me. So disengage, re-engage. Pop. Good girl. Nice job. Good girl. Good. Hi, good. That's a good girl. Nice job. Good. Good girl. Good. 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 And also what you see now when you start working with dogs with a collar that, like a training collar that they actually care about, is that they inherently pay more attention to you because you've made yourself more valuable and they follow you better. Good. So I see her kind of naturally following me. Good. And then if she does tune out, oh, good. So she was already kind of turning back towards me there. Good girl. But look, she's following me on my left side in essentially a heel position. And I haven't created that at all, but I've made myself more relevant and important to her. So she's keeping an eye on me. Good. Turning with me. That's exactly what I want to see. Nice job, girl. Nice job. Yeah. And I've done some pops kind of with her to my left, but I can also do this exercise and create a little bit of following. So I'm going to have her come towards me. I use my hand as a little bit of a target. Good girl. Good. And I have her follow me. And if she starts to veer off course in any direction, I give her a little pop to push her back on. Like that. Good. But in one session, I've created all of this focus and attention. And I don't need to use food. I can, but I don't really need to. And I want to keep it pretty tidy because I want her to understand this concept. And also, in some instances, good girl, food can escalate a dog quite a bit and actually sort of pull their focus away from what you're doing. So I'm going to give her a little leash pop there because she's digging. Perfect response. So sometimes if dogs struggle with over arousal, adding food to that equation can make things worse. So it's something that if I have a dog that's really unmotivated for this exercise, I might bring in a little bit of food to help them through it. But I'm going to gauge that depending on the dog. Good girl. And for her, I think keeping things simple right now is best. Pretty. Good girl. Good. Good. So if she goes after an acorn on the ground, I'm going to say which is going to be her mistake marker, which means, hey, don't do that. And I'm going to follow that with a consequence, which now that she understands this collar will be a leash pop. Good girl. Good girl. Good. Now I'm going to start adding my let's go cue. So before I change direction, I'm going to say, let's go. Good. Good girl. Let's go. Good girl. So I'm giving her a warning that there's a reason for her to pay attention to me because I'm going to be doing something like changing direction. Let's go. Good girl. So I can again name the cue where I want her to disengage with the environment and re-engage with me. Let's go. Good girl. Let's go. And if she doesn't follow me, or she sniffs on the ground or tries to pick something up or whatever, I'm going to follow that cue or her blowing off that cue with a leash pop so that she understands if she doesn't pay attention to my verbal cue, I will back it up with the leash. Good girl. Let's go. Good girl. That's very good. Good. And she's sticking pretty close to me now. Good. A little stress yawn there. She's processing. This is a lot of new information. Good. I do want her to wander a little bit further away from me. Good girl. Good. Let's go. Good girl. Such a nice response. So nice. There we go. So now it's hard to get her distracted. Here's where, let's go. I might toss food to get her more into her environment and then ask her to come off of that. Let's go. Good girl. Good. But for the most part, what we've generated with this exercise is just some really nice attention. Good. And a mindset where she's motivated to learn from me. Good girl. She's like, oh, actually, what you say kind of matters to me. Let's go. Good. Let's go. Good. Good girl. Yeah. Good girl. So we're going to leave it there for now, but really, really, really nice prong intro. Good girl.